Stigma with mental health is widespread. It doesn't discriminate. It's affected me as a doctor and it affects everyone in society. If I can help even just one person out there by sharing my story, then my suffering won't have been in vain. So my first encounters with mental health was actually when I was in year 12. I started to have more energy. I needed less sleep, sometimes 2-3 hours a night. I was more confident than usual, careless with spending, and more aggressive and irritable. It wasn't until after I finished year 12 when I crashed into a low. I was on schoolies at the time, which is supposed to be such a high. When I felt really sad, I suddenly didn't want to socialise at all. I was crying every day. But it wasn't until a couple of years later when I had another hypomanic episode, which is when the doctors put the pieces together, and I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder at the age of 19. So in between episodes, I work full-time and I'm quite high functioning. Following episodes, I do face a lot of stigma. Not everyone is understanding of what I've gone through. When we're high or manic, we're not ourselves. The things that we say and do are not consistent or congruent with our personalities. And even if on the outside I look the same and I can groom myself and go out the same way, things might be very difficult for me inside. And it's not easy to resume former roles and obtain appropriate leave. Ironically, I've often been the wellness lead of hospital networks and I've advocated for doctors in distress publicly. But despite that, when I've been in trouble, I can't seem to get the support and I can't seem to advocate for myself. And that's something that's been an ongoing struggle since I first became a mental health advocate in 2015 and is something that I still fight for today. I don't believe the stigma is born out of willful malice. I think it's due to ignorance. Culture shift does take time, but through sharing our stories and connecting with each other, I'm feeling quite optimistic that we will be able to change things for future generations. One of the strategies that's helped me stay well with bipolar disorder is a heightened level of self-awareness. So I check in with myself a lot more often in terms of how am I feeling? Do I need to chat to someone about what I'm going through? I think also paying attention to physical health is really important. So I tend to exercise, do practices like yoga, meditation, things that just try and keep you grounded. Having bipolar disorder has taught me gratitude. It's taught me not to be too attached to things and not to be too materialistic. And I think one of the key messages I'd want to impart to people who have just been labelled with a diagnosis is that you can still have a normal life. You can still be successful and achieve the things that you want to achieve, despite the setbacks of having a mental illness. I don't want to sugarcoat things, but it is possible to have a relatively normal life. The reason I can connect with patients and people in society is because I have suffered and because I have gone through things. So if you are out there feeling distressed, it's really important that you reach out.